Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, WWE Night of Champions preview from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the Jeddah Superdome. We have, looks like 7 big matches already announced. We may have something announced at the show or something kind of funky happening. Or maybe it's just 7 matches, less than 3 hours, and we call it good. That'd be fine with me. Now, we have some interesting, we have 3 main events, they called it. But then we have 4 other matches that are kind of like, Doesn't have a lot of sense to a couple of them. So we're going to start out with the WWE Intercontinental title, champion Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. Currently, Gunther has held the Intercontinental title 346 days, which is the 3rd most all time, next to Randy Savage at 414 and the Honky Tonk Man at 454. Now, we talk about longevity of titles, we talk about breaking records. In order for Gunther to tie Randy Savage at 414 days, July 29th of this year, for him to break the Honky Tonk Man's record, it would be September 7th of 2023. So September of this year. So literally SummerSlam era, or before SummerSlam, or after SummerSlam. SummerSlam is August 5th. So there ain't no reason to take the title off of Gunther and give it to Mustafa Ali, because that's not, if you think about wrestling and is it believable what's getting ready to happen, that's not believable. Mustafa Ali beating Gunther with Imperium at ringside is not even plausible for me. So Gunther retains. Next up we have, I'm really confused about this. We have the Raw Women's Championship on the line with SmackDown's own Bianca Belair champion and SmackDown's own Asuka. The problem is they drafted Bianca to SmackDown. They drafted Rhea to Raw. Bianca's the Raw champion. Rhea is the SmackDown champion. So Rhea's coming out on Raw with a blue belt. Bianca's coming out on SmackDown with a red belt. But Bianca has held the title 416 days. This is the longest reigning women's champion since 2005. And Trish Stratus held the title 447 days. In order for Bianca to tie Trish's record, July 14th, 2023. So at SummerSlam 2 weeks later, she could lose it and have the record. What I think could happen is Bianca retains the title here against Asuka, holds the title through SummerSlam, or even July 14th. What day of the week is that on? July 14th is on a Friday. Friday Night SmackDown. I could see Bianca versus Trish on that Friday Night SmackDown for the title. If Bianca wins, she's the longest reigning women's champion since Mae Young. If Trish wins, she only ties her. So I could see that July 14th is on a Friday. She ties it on July 14th. To me, that's why they just haven't switched the titles yet, because they want that. That's only a month and a half away. So July 14th. So I got Bianca retaining here, and at July 14th, possibly facing Trish for the title on SmackDown. Then we have the SmackDown Women's title, 2 members of Raw, champion Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. Rhea Ripley's had the title 53 days. So I think they kind of backed themselves into a corner with Bianca having this long title run, but drafting her to SmackDown. I think maybe you wait till July 14th. Either she loses the title to Trish or someone else, and then she goes to, I don't know how they're going to do that. But it'll be kind of funky if they don't just let it play out the way it is right now. But Rhea Ripley versus Natalya, there's no reason to take the title off Rhea at this point, to be honest with you. Now, what gets me is, this is the Night of Champions. Most Night of Champions shows, all the titles on the line. We don't have the U.S. title. We're doing it on SmackDown instead. We don't have the World title. It's like, come on now, people. But yet we have 2 non-title matches. We have Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Match quality-wise, it's pretty good, I think. Trish has had 3 matches in 2018, 2 matches in 2019 and 2 matches in 2023 where Becky's been full-time except for her time she's been hurt. Obviously, there's history there. Trish turned on Becky when Trish stepped in for Lita, when Lita and Becky were the tag team champions, which costed them the titles. Lita's been out with injury because she was attacked. I think, didn't we find out Trish was the one behind that? So what I could see happening here, I could see Lita coming out and helping Becky beat Trish, and then Becky and Trish, either the feud goes away or we just postpone it for now. Either Trish goes away or, again, we build Trish up to face Bianca on SmackDown for the Raw title on July 15th. But I think Lita comes out and helps Becky beat Trish here, because Trish and Lita had always had issues back in the day. So Becky wins. All right, 3 main events, they're calling it. We have the tag titles, the Raw and SmackDown tag titles. I've yet to see the unified tag titles, because if you look up the WWE Raw tag titles and WWE SmackDown tag titles, they are separate lineages. So they are technically separate titles. We have champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going against the Bloodline, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, and Sikoa. Here's the thing: they wanted Roman on this card without defending the title because they had the 1,000-day celebration coming up next Friday. But they couldn't have the Usos on this card because they can't travel outside the country because of their run-ins with the law. The last time they were in Saudi, that's when Sikoa joined the Bloodline and came out and helped Roman Reigns. So I think a lot of funky ass shit happens here, to be honest with you. This is going to be the most goofed up ending to a match you've ever seen in your life. I don't know. There's no way in hell they're letting Roman eat a pin. Guarantee that one. I don't think the Bloodline wins. If anything, Sikoa eats the pin, or it just gets thrown out as no DQ, it gets thrown out as a disqualification or something like that. And then Owens and Zayn wins. I think Riddle gets involved. I think Heyman gets involved. And maybe even the Street Profits. I mean, it's going to be just one cluster at the end, I think. But at the end of the day, Owens and Zayn retain the titles. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Cody won a Backlash. Why we have this match, I'll never know. It doesn't do anything for me. The whole thing, the fact that Tripp's not wanting Cody to wrestle because he's hurt, he thinks his arm's broken, but Cody's not going to see a doctor because Cody wants to wrestle in this match. I think it's going to be just Beast going after Cody the whole time, and just like last time, Cody's going to get some funky wonka pinfall and get the victory or somehow. So I think Cody ends up getting the victory in this. It could be by disqualification. It could be a lot of things. Brock could get disqualified or whatever, but Cody will technically be the winner. There'll be some shenanigans going on. And then we have the WWE World Heavyweight Title Tournament finale for the vacant WWE World Heavyweight Title. The phenomenal AJ Styles versus Seth freaking Rollins. From what I looked up, this is the first time meeting these two guys. Could be wrong about it. Let me double check. But I thought it was the first time because I started looking because they have some history. They both went to Ring of Honor. Seth was in TNA for just like a cup of coffee back in the day. And then the stuff in WWE here. Oh, I take that back. I was looking too far back. So they had a match in Money in the Bank qualifying match where Seth won. I guess I was looking more back in the day when they were on the Indies together. On the Indies, see if they had something. But yeah, AJ won by disqualification on a Raw back in March of last year. And then at the Chamber, they were both in the Chamber. When Brock won the Chamber back in 2022. Yeah, I guess I was looking more the old stuff versus more modern day WWE stuff. Yeah, because I was looking back at the Ring of Honor days because I thought they had crossed paths back then. But I was wrong. I know I was wrong about that because I look all that stuff up. It looks like they've had some tag matches and some triple threats and stuff. So they've touched a few times. But honestly, I could see either one winning the title here. Seth is a 4-time WWE champion, WWE Universal champion. AJ is a 2-time champion. If I just got to pick one, I'm going to pick Seth freaking Rollins. I think he could be kind of the guy. My only issue with this is you have the current WWE title, the Universal title, which have separate lineages. You have Roman Reigns closing on 1,000 days with the Universal title. He's 400 and some odd days with the WWE title. Now you're adding a third world title. Rumor has it the lineage of this title will go back to the gold belt that Tripp debuted in 2002 that used to be the SmackDown title, that in 2013 they combined the world title and the WWE title. And then years later they made the Universal title. So we have too many world titles going on here, people. We need to get rid of something. We need to get rid of... I hate to get rid of the WWE title because of the lineage goes back to the beginning of the time for WWE with Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Luthez, and all that people, and Buddy Rogers, and etc. But I hate having the Universal title, but that's the one he has a long title run for. So like I said in the video I did about the longest title runs in WWE history, maybe once he breaks whatever record he breaks, you get rid of one of them. I don't know how they do that. But I think Seth Rollins is going to walk away with that world title. So it's going to be interesting to see what main events this and how they kind of play with some of this. To me, it's like kind of a straightforward card. I don't see a lot of upsets because of Bianca and Asuka. Bianca has a long title run. Why upset that right now? Natalya, there's no reason for her to beat Rhea. Mustafa Ali, I mean, that's kind of like we already know the outcome of that Gunther's winning. Trish and Becky can go either way. The tag titles, we know Roman's not gaining another title. He can't carry 4 titles. Good God. I could, but I don't see them doing that. I think they'll leave it on Kevin Owens and Zayn. I think, if anything, the Usos eventually get it back. Lesnar, Cody could be interesting, and Seth and AJ could be interesting. But that is, there to be a Clash of Champions preview. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for the reviews, and then the previews of rest of the weekend. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.